is one of New Zealand's oldest and most well recognised brands. You probably have something of theirs in your house or around your yard at the moment. What they make these days tends to focus more on outdoor care and outdoor living, but when they first started it was about farming equipment. Then during the war they actually switched over and made ammunitions. So they've been around a while and they've had a massive impact on the country. Last year they moved to a new set of offices away from the place where the company was founded in 1910. That foundry is still there these days, right next to a big Bunnings. In this video I sit down and have a chat to Tim Dyer, who's the head of IT for Masport, about the challenges that come into play for such a legacy company that works on a distribution model, and how they've been able to adapt to the lockdowns and the sort of technological shift that's had to come into play to make sure that they're still able to do what they do, while accepting the fact that there are some changes that they can't really alter, like how long it takes for shipments to come into the country at the moment. So sit down and enjoy the episode. I hope you get something interesting out of it. So the first big question is, what are you guys doing to cope with lockdown?
Our first question, well, we've been closed since level 4. We've not been an essential service.
That surprises me, because obviously, like, everyone's home and they need to mow the lawns and do other things. Like, I kind of get some things aren't essential, but I would have thought a barbecue, for example, if you've got power issues, would be considered essential. Lawn mowing would be considered essential.
So technically, our customer services are not fully available.
Okay.
And we've only just had some staff go back into our warehouse and customer services to operate as of this week.
So is that sort of the outside of Auckland, they're operating online orders and stuff?
Our head office is in Auckland.
Mm-hmm.
So level 4, it means it's closed.
Yeah.
So it's been quite tight on the budget, I believe.
That makes sense.
But we've only had staff going last week to do the bare minimum essential items. So only as of last week. Before that, no. So we were completely shut down.
How is the staff taking something like that? Is it a sort of shock to the system? Are they adapting well?
We've done it before. We'll do it again.
I hope not. I really hope not.
We've done it before. We'll do it again. Staff I've been assisting with, a lot of staff working from home. It's pretty much my role, is making sure everyone's operable. So, yeah.
How do you find as an IT person that they are adapting to working from home?
Pretty good. I think they're adapting pretty well. People are learning definitely a lot more to be able to do it themselves. Sort of basics, have you restarted it?
Have you turned it off and on again? Yeah.
That's a big one.
I remember those days well.
So, everyone's handling it really well, actually. And I have not had the huge expectation, I guess, since being in this level 4 compared to other level 4s where I was just like, but I have been busy.
Yeah.
I have been busy, I have to say.
Because Masport's an international organisation, isn't it? Like, you sell out of Australia?
International.
How does that change how you operate if your head office is shut down here, but obviously you still got to operate in other territories like that? Does that cause a lot of headaches, or is it everyone's sort of adapted?
Australia's pretty much, because we've got our other office there, they've pretty much been in lockdown since I've been a part of the company.
Yeah, so it has been several hundred years now.
Exactly. So a lot of people have been working from home anyway from Australia, which is good, because it means they're used to it and they know that's just how they operate. So it's been it's been a really big year, I think.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of people are going to walk away from it going, I want more work from home. I want to have, more time with family. Or do you think in general, people are more likely to go, I've had enough time with my family. I need to work from the office more.
Um, I think there's a mix of that.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely myself, I prefer working from home.
Yeah.
It's the travel to the office is pretty hectic anyway, so that's always a big thing for me. But I just, just it's enjoyable just being able to be there for people when they need me, and just not sitting in an office.
Sitting in an office is draining. I don't think people remember how draining it is until that like they get back from holiday. Like there's a few times where they sort of realize it. But when they're in the midst of it, they just meh. I don't want to
Don't
do
get
this.
me wrong. Love the office. I
Yeah.
love being around the people, but the travel is the worst, and there's probably better things I can do
Auckland traffic.
than doing that. Yeah, so working from home is good for me because I can do it.
Yeah.
It's like my role is reliant on me being in the office, apart from some things. I mean, if we're all working from home, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's very true. So how have the people who run the company been handling things for the lockdown? Like, do they have a sort of an official stance on what's happening, how it's going for them? Is it a we want to keep everybody safe kind of thing?
Um, the company's great. They definitely want to keep the whole safe idea around it. They love the idea of people working from home. Um,
I mean, to be fair, that's where most of your products are used.
hmm,
So if,
exactly.
if you've got people at home, they're using your products and possibly breaking them and they're needing replacements.
Yeah, so our last lockdown is where we made, I think, most money because people were at home realizing, oh, they need this, they need that, and obviously our company is one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we did really well. Um, don't know about this one, but seems to be going okay. We've
I suppose it's
obviously had a
very
lot.
hard to judge when you've got the country is essentially all still in that lockdown. Like
Yeah,
level 3 and level 4 is essentially the same thing with takeaways at one end.
yeah. So a big issue for us has been we're not able to receive our deliveries.
Yep.
We're shut down. We have a lot of containers to waiting for us to.
Oh, your courier's going to hate you.
So that's why the warehouse team went back last week.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, needing to unload the deliveries and get all that sorted. Um, so that's a good part. And customer services needed to go back as well because it was pretty essential that at this point.
Online orders need to be processed and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So all the essential work needed to be done. Luckily, I'm not a part of that.
See, I'm essential in other ways.
I'm essential in other ways, and I'm able to
Yeah,
work from home, which is great.
yeah. Are the guys that are working frontline doing the orders and stuff like that? How are they coping at the moment?
They're good. I have spoken to a few of them, and they're like back into the office. Obviously, if you're the only ones there, you're not really the happiest, but they're pretty good, and they're a good team. So I'm proud of them.
And that all over the country, isn't it?
Well, it's only in Auckland.
Yeah. Stupid Auckland.
That's our only place, but we do have reps around the country as well, which go around and deal with businesses.
Yeah. So I was talking to somebody yesterday who works for Bunnings,
Hmm.
and he was saying first day was like, oh yeah, okay, down in Hamilton, so that they're still at level 3 goes. First day, level 3, we had like 30 orders come through, and that's sort of an average day, like we were expecting an average day. The next day it was triple that, and then the
Hmm.
day after that it was triple the day before. Like it's
Mm.
just been exponential growth, and so suddenly everybody's freaking out. They're still getting people who show up at the door demanding to be let in and don't understand why they can't come in shopping. They still get people who will ring up and yell at them because COVID is a hoax, and them being shut is perpetuating the hoax. Like it's that they're getting a
Really?
lot of them, a lot of that sort of stuff thrown at them.
A
Do
lot of
you
that.
know if any of your guys have had to deal with any of that kind of shit?
We're a distributor.
So now
We don't
distributors are
have
fine.
we don't have stores.
That's good. That's
So
very good.
we're only head office distributing.
Yeah,
We distribute from here in Auckland and Melbourne, and we have a couple of other warehouses around Australia as well.
that makes sense. Um, I don't know why, but I always had this memory of a Masport store in Hamilton Central.
Yeah, so we'll have all the signage and all the
It, it's like Coke, but for home
yeah,
care. Yeah, so
yeah.
you've got all the branding.
We've got the branding, we've got the
Yeah.
signage. We supply that to the dealers and all of that, but generally we're just a distributor. We distribute the products, and yeah.
So last lockdown, one of the big issues that came through with distribution was the backlog of stuff being unloaded at the ports and brought in. Um, Same thing looks like it's going to happen again this year. There's already stories on the news about cancelling Christmas. Um,
Absolutely.
are you guys hit by that at all?
Um, I know that our container prices are humongous
Yeah,
for anything to do with containers coming from between us and the States or China or all that sort of thing. So I know the container prices is huge. The backlog is humongous. So yes, yeah. There's a big hit from that, and we put up our prices recently only because of that.
yeah.
And
It's
it's only a thing because we'll
hopefully
see
when
when it
everything
comes
settles
down
down, everything goes back to normal.
again.
Hope
Yeah,
hope it
fingers
goes back to
crossed.
normal.
I
Yeah,
think so.
it'd be nice. I'm getting tired of being locked down and not being able to do anything. And
I know I normally go overseas once a year, and I haven't been in over 2 years, and I'm getting pretty cranky.
yeah, it feels like an itch under the skin.
Nowadays.
Yeah, it's just like I want. Right now, I'd love to go to Wellington. Like I haven't been to Wellington in a couple of years for non-work related things. It would be actually
Mm.
kind of cool just to go down and relax and hang
Go
out and
explore and do, yeah.
yeah, catch up with friends and family I've got down there. And but like, I'd love to see my family. It was my daughter's birthday yesterday, and I can't go
Oh,
down and see her.
congrats.
So 24. I have a
Oh my
24-year
God.
old.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you
Good
feel
luck with that.
yeah. She lives with her mother. That's fine. And
Okay.
she's an adult, so she can obviously make her own choices. But yeah, makes me feel ancient. But I'd love to catch up with her for her birthday, and I can't because of everything that's going on.
You could always do a Zoom call.
She doesn't like video calls. She doesn't like being on screen.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
very shy. So it's all right. I flicked her a
Okay.
message yesterday and had a chat to her this morning. But
Oh, nice.
kids, yeah, not fun. So in terms of how you guys see yourself getting out of lockdown, like working through the other side of lockdown, is there
Mhm.
sort of a overarching guiding principle to how your company operates with that?
Um,
And are you about to freeze to death there because you look like you're shivering?
oh, I'm all right. It's a bit cold. Um, I guess it's just catching up with the back end of it, really.
Yeah.
Just trying to catch up the best we can and get all our orders out to Bunnings
And other distributors.
and other distributors.
Yeah.
They're known as our mass merchants, which are the biggest client we have. Um, love going into a Bunnings and seeing our lawnmowers. It's fantastic. But yeah, no, it's getting all the orders out to all our international clients, making sure it's all up to date. I can tell the warehouse will be very busy when we get back into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there
Um,
much of a change between level 3 and level 4 in Auckland for you guys?
Level 3 means a lot of the essential workers will come back. So most of our warehouse crew will be back. Customer services will be back operating fully, which they'll need to be. IT support,
Yeah.
we're back. But generally, the company wants a lot of people to be working from home still.
So it sounds like safety is very much their biggest concern.
They are very big on safety.
I suppose you'd have to be when you're dealing with wearing blades and all the rest of the stuff that comes
Yeah,
with
yeah,
what
I
you guys
guess.
do. I'm working on that as an assumption. You want people to be safe around what you sell.
Yeah, we do. Oh, well, you know.
You hadn't thought of that, had you?
No, no. Um, Generally pretty safe, I have to say.
Yeah, oh, it wouldn't surprise me. You guys would be. It'll be built into the core of the company.
Mm,
Yeah. Uh,
in trouble.
so, how old is Masport now?
It was 19, I believe it's 1910 that it was
Okay,
founded.
so 111 years.
Hmm.
So it's been through two pandemics.
Yes,
It would have got through the Spanish flu pandemic.
yes.
Do you
You find
think?
out the 1915, sorry,
Oh, yeah. So they still would have gone through the Spanish flu pandemic.
1915.
That's
So we've
impressive.
been founded, created, run since then, and then we had the foundry on site at our old Mount Wellington site. So our Mount Wellington site, which we've just moved from last year, was the original site.
Wow.
And there's photos, and we have a bit of a museum going on at work. Um, there's just photos of just our foundry and nothing around it in Mount Wellington.
But I can't
Nothing, just
imagine that.
fields. It's fantastic.
Fields in Mount Wellington does not sound right these days.
And we've got, some of our first lawnmowers, I guess.
Yeah. The old push
From
ones with the whirly blades.
That's the one.
Oh my God. Is there still a market for those?
Apparently,
Okay.
we still sell them.
Oh, my grandmother used to have one of those, but she was one of these people who loved her garden with an absolute passion, was out there every couple of days mowing her lawns. And so she used to have one of those little things. And I remember visiting her as a kid and going to play with it. And it's like, no, no, you don't get to do my lawns until you're 15. But when you're 15, you will be doing my lawns with that. And I remember going, I don't want to visit her when I turn 15.
Oh,
I didn't want to
God.
do somebody else's lawns. That didn't sound like fun.
I don't think anyone really wanted to.
No, no, it was not fun. So the old foundry site then, what's happened with that now? Because I can imagine that would
They got a
almost be
bob.
an historical site.
Yeah, it could be. They knocked down Foundry last year,
Mm-hmm.
which was the creation of the product. So a lot of it was moved overseas. But Bunnings actually bought the site
Oh, okay.
next to the Bunnings in Mount Wellington. So they bought the site, and they're still due to knock it down.
So the building's actually still there.
It's still there. Still has Masport up on it.
Oh my God.
Um,
Start a petition. Get people going. Like, this is a historical landmark.
it should be. I mean, everyone drives past it and like, oh, that's Masport.
I
That's
mean,
pretty good.
it's over 100 years old.
Mm. Mm.
And you'd be hard pressed to find a home in New Zealand that doesn't have a Masport product somewhere.
It's true.
Yeah,
Use lawnmowers,
yeah, I know.
gardens.
I know I've got a Masport barbecue, and I don't have a lawnmower, so that's not such an
Well,
issue.
I'm proud of you so far.
The barbecue's fantastic.
Good.
So why would I want anything else? In terms of sort of wrapping things up as we go out of lockdown, is there sort of prep that you guys do before we hit the level changes?
No, we pretty much hit the ground running with whatever we can
That does
because
not
we've got
sound fun.
no, it's a very busy time, I think. We're just going to hit the ground running. Things backloaded, back ordered, systems to people are doing it remotely, but when we go back down and we're back into the office, we just need to get it done.
Yeah, that sounds like everybody at the moment is head down
Yeah.
and get back to
So
work.
it's be pretty crazy, and I'm not looking forward to it, but at the same time, everyone loves a challenge.
Yeah, that's true. Right, last question for you. That's all on the record before I hit the stop record button. What advice do you have for people to get through lockdown with?
This is real controversial, but it's pretty much be kind.
Okay.
I, just say hi to a neighbor or a wave or a friend, just be really nice. Keep in touch with people that you care about and make sure they're okay. It's not just about you, it's about them as well. So as long as you, I don't know, keep in touch, stay kind. Jacinda has her words cut out for her.
I don't envy her, eh? Such a tough job. Such a tough
No,
job.
couldn't do it.
This week in particular, really tough week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I want to thank Tim Dyer and Masport for coming to the table and having a chat to me. For me, it's one of those really interesting areas that we often forget about when we're all stuck at home, is exactly how do these businesses adapt and change and alter what they're doing to make sure that they're looking after their staff, but that they're also being able to keep that business alive because that's what pays the bills of these staff as well. So I was totally fascinated the whole way through. If you want to check out Masport online, I'll have some links below in the description. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.